Good morning, world. Good morning, world. Ooh, it's a foggy day today in the park, but I want to welcome you to Personal Lifestyle Determinants of Health. And our episode is on money habits mindfulness, how you spend it and getting to saving it. Because there are really two sides of the same coin, because the solution to spending is actually saving. And my challenge was inconspicuous consumption. Oh my goodness, how I would buy things, little things, and indulge myself on things and convince myself that I need it when in actual fact I want it. And I just buy it sometimes, knowing very well I don't need it. But because it's a small dollar value, I'm going to have it for now and start creating a whole utility need around it. So, what happens is, before you know it, you have spent hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. And at the end of the day, you can't account for what you did with your money. And then you start getting stressed out, you have headaches, you can't sleep, you can develop ulcers, with worry that you have spent money that you didn't have to spend, and now some unexpected expenses come up and you can't make ends meet. All those things are consequences to your health, and eventually it leads to other things in your life that are detrimental to a healthy lifestyle. So, my solutions, first and foremost, is I had to start learning to create a budget. If it's not on a budget, I'm not getting it that month, that day, that week. I also started learning how to save for projects, that I want to do, especially high item projects. I can save for years. I plan, I save for years. And then until I'm ready to purchase that big item, um, I, you know, for my house or for improvements, then I'll go and I do comparative shopping. Am I getting the best price that I can get for this project? Or even just buying small things. I go from store to store, comparing prices, making sure that I'm not buying an item that I could get cheaper somewhere else. It does take time and it does require planning. Oh my goodness, the other thing that I stopped doing was using cash. Thank God for debit cards. I don't I don't pay cash for anything. I don't care whether it's $2 or $200. I usually just make sure I swipe my debit card. This way, at the end of the month, you can see your spending summary. A lot of banks now are offering spending summaries. So you can see exactly how much you spend on certain things. And I also go and through my bank statement to start looking at things that I bought that I didn't need. And I also keep tags. Like if I buy something and I'm not really sure that I need it, I will keep it in its box for a few weeks or for a few days just to make sure I really need it, and then I'll keep it. If I find that, my impulse buying when I bought this thing and I was justifying how I would use it is one off and I really don't need it, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back, and that's it, and I won't look back. The other thing was um, I really started going out shopping with a list. Now, there are certain things that I have weaknesses for. Things like home goods and accessories, the linens, the pillows, decorative pillows. I would, I would just, oh, I need a new look, and I would buy, and they always have beautiful things, my favorite stores, home goods, of course, and home senses, and you always find cute things there. The other thing is experimental food buying. I see something new on the market. I want to test it. Gourmet foods, experimental wines. And oh my goodness, the number of wines that I paid good money for, and they ended up down the sink because they didn't test as great as the bottle looked or as the reviews said they were so great. That was all money down the drain. I would literally throw it out because I didn't like it. Now I just stick with one type, one brand of wine, and I'm never disappointed. And that's what I buy. And I found that I have stopped spending so much money on these experimental wine tasting projects of mine. The other thing is um, I have automated. Most of my bills are automated. And the reason why I automate is I know exactly on my budget how much is going out to pay credit cards or how much is going towards my savings. I have a specific amount, and what I do is if I finish paying, let's say a credit card, I'll then switch that money and start sending it to my savings account. This way, out of sight, out of mind, I was paying a credit card, and then now that same amount of money, I'm putting it in my savings. And the other thing is, I hate paying interest on anything. So with my credit cards and even department cards, I pay and then thank God for that. You see how much it says if you pay the minimum payment, this is how much you're going to end up um, paying over so many years. I watch that on my statements all the time. So what I do is I always pay above and beyond the minimum. If this is if I have used my credit card for big things. But most of the time, like with the store cards, I will go to the store and buy clothes, let's say for my son, and swipe my department store, whether it's Old Navy or Macy's, and then that month I pay it off because I'm swiping so that I can keep a record. Instead of using cash, I can keep a record of what I spend and what I bought and how much I bought for those items. This way, I can monitor my expenditure because it's recorded. Whereas with cash, you go to the ATM, you withdraw money, and when you're looking at your bank statement, you've got all these cash withdrawals, and you don't really know, you can't account what you use the money for. So, definitely, when you understand how you're spending money, you can come up with solutions of how to spend it. Because if you don't, and if you are not monitoring, and if you are not watching, it's so easy to spend on minutia things that you don't need. And then when you have an emergency that requires cash flow, you are stuck. You don't have any. So, like I always say, the best solutions to a healthy lifestyle come from within. If nobody told you they love you today, I do. Please follow us on IGTV, on Instagram, Doc Ndoro, and our YouTube channel, Personal Lifestyle Determinants of Health, hashtag PLDH. Love you. Ciao, ciao.